Hey, thanks for watching this live stream, whether you're watching it recorded or live. For any of you who are live, sorry we're a little bit late. And yeah, great to see you all. I want to talk this week a little bit about what it's been like to run an SEO GEO agency in 2025. And there's a lot of changes that have happened, a lot of kind of stuff going on. And so I want to talk through that. And part of the reason I want to talk through it is that these are changes that have affected everybody. All the changes that we've seen, and I don't know that we call ourselves an SEO agency anymore, but all the changes that we've seen have affected everybody in content, have affected everybody in demand gen and marketing. So that's why I thought it might be interesting to talk a little bit about what it's been like. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Justin Dunham. I'm one of the founders of Aircule. Aircule works with companies on content systems, and content systems are all about figuring out how to more efficiently and more performantly take all the things that you know and that your brand knows and your experience with solving problems and putting that all out there so that you can educate your buyers and so that your buyers can learn what they need to know and hopefully then go along and buy your product to help them solve their problems. So we work on this content systems concept, and SEO GEO is absolutely one of the things that we work on with clients in addition to a bunch of other stuff. So let's start. I want to show you some graphs because I love graphs. And let's add the screen. And like, here's a not weird graph of organic search performance. It's one that we don't love to see. And 1 second, let me just make an adjustment here. It's one that we don't love to see. And there we go. It's one of those days with technology. I want to get rid of that. Okay, great. Let's try that again. Okay. Yeah, it's one of these graphs we don't love to see. Now, this is very common though for a lot of folks this year. Is these are glossary pages specifically. And you're looking through this list and you're looking at the performance of your glossary of all your what is pages, and they've all gone to 0. Now, in this case, it's a little more complicated. Some other things are going on. URLs were changed at some point, so you would expect the 0 at the end. But the point is that a lot of what is content and other types of content have lost a lot of search traffic this year. Not all of our clients have experienced that, but some of them have. And that is not weird. That's because you can go search for something now, like let's go look for what is a, actually that's really funny. I went to go search what is a shoe and it didn't give me an AI overview, so that's not good. But let's do what is data governance? And then I'll share the screen, share this tab instead. What is data governance? There's nothing to click through there anymore. If you have one of those really basic questions, there's, you get the answer right there. And there's lots of other things that have happened too. People are just moving to ChatGPT and to some of these other systems just to get their answers in the first place. They're not even looking on Google anymore. So this is a thing that happened this year, and it affected a lot of marketing departments and affected a lot of content departments. But there are a couple of other things that have also happened. I showed you this graph. I started out with, here's what a glossary looks like. But then let's look at a graph like this, where what we're seeing is unbranded clicks as that blue bar and LLM sessions as the gray bar. So that has gone up a lot. And I know we all care about LLM visibility, and that is really important. And that's a new channel that we all want to get on top of. But the point here is this is an example of how unbranded has gone down and LLMs have taken over some of that traffic. Now, some of the LLM traffic is branded, whatever it is. Like there's lots of things going on there, but the point is that that's actually becoming an important traffic source. And there's another theme here too, which is that we've had to contend with even just becoming visible on these LLM platforms. So the idea of more of the journey happening off the site is becoming more and more important and something we have to manage. So I'll show you a third thing, which is we've seen those first two graphs, and then we've also seen graphs like this one, which is, let me see if I can share this, which is like, where's everything coming from? And, we're seeing organic search when we actually look at pipeline. We're seeing organic search maybe stay stable, even if we're losing traffic. We're seeing direct traffic increase a lot. Some of that is from LLMs. Some of that is from all kinds of places. We're seeing LLM search as its own channel. HubSpot just released a change to be able to track that. So these are all things that are also happening. Is content, some content is not getting clicks anymore. More of the journey is happening offsite. We're getting more impressions, but a much lower click-through rate. We're seeing clicks from LLMs, but less from search. But in a lot of cases, pipeline is not affected or actually is still continuing to increase from these channels. And that has been really exciting for us. And it's been a great year for us, partly because we have been able to show a lot more business value for our clients because of some of these graphs. Now I want to show you something else, which has been really exciting this year, which is going to be totally unsurprising for you to see and hear me talk about, which is, here's our workflow for going offsite. And this is built in a tool called N8N. And for going offsite and finding all of the FAQs that people are asking. What are the things that are happening offsite? And are we visible for that? Do we answer that somewhere? Are we going to show up in ChatGPT or in Claude for that? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Here you can see all these little things we've been able to chain together, like go get this SERP and go look at Reddit and go run a workflow where you apply a bunch of other transformations to our content and go integrate with your client CMS and do all this other stuff. So that's been another thing that has happened this year. What has it been like to run an SEO agency, which we're not, content systems agency, but what has it been like to run an agency that deals with SEO, that does SEO for some of our clients this year? This is what it's been like. Numbers have moved, the value's still there, and then we've had this extra AI thing to deal with. Another exciting thing that we've been thinking about is, okay, well, that's great. You can run a workflow just like you would run in HubSpot to go get these things, and these tools are becoming an important part of the practice. How do we deal with things that are offsite? Well, here's our FAQ finder, which I showed on another live stream. And this is the result of that. It's really just going out to these sites like Gartner and Reddit and Stack Overflow and Google itself and finding out what those questions are and then building the ability to answer them and being able to do that in a structured way. So what we've been doing differently this year is we've been thinking a lot more strategically with clients. We've been taking stock of, noticing the fact that there are pages that have lost traffic in some cases, and that those pages were never really something that contributed all that much to pipeline. And they've never, like glossaries have never been something that we've invested a lot in personally or ourselves with clients. But we've kind of taken stock of that and helped explain and help content teams show the actual impact of that, which is a little bit less awareness, but not a lot of impact downstream on pipeline. So that has been very interesting to do that this year. And we've also been able to work with teams to show, hey, these LLM clicks convert at a 2x or 3x rate because buyers had educated themselves offsite a lot more than they used to. So what have we been doing? We've been helping teams think through what's happening here. We've been helping teams educate the rest of their colleagues on what's going on with search. We've been helping produce the right content for this new environment. We've been increasingly going to other channels to help clients see what's going on there and help them deal with that. And that's been wonderful for nerdy marketers like us. That's all that we want to do, is sort of expand our involvement with solving these complex problems. And then the last thing that's been really exciting is not only do we have these workflows, all this others, we do all this stuff to understand what's going on, to understand the data, but now we can also use LLMs to help us set a baseline content for a lot of clients who wouldn't otherwise have been able to do it, who otherwise wouldn't be able to run a content machine at all, or would be mired in approvals and resourcing issues and all this other stuff. So we don't usually generate glossary pages, but what we do is build pretty sophisticated workflows, including context from the client and our product marketing knowledge and our knowledge of the industry to help them produce and deploy content in lots of places. So this is kind of an interesting, what we call an LLM assist about this topic, data mesh. And we're not going to write what is data mesh because everybody's written that, but we can use an LLM to write data mesh what happens, something that even has a POV because it includes some of that context in there. And this is not amazing, but it's also not bad. And it lets us get to a place that we would not have been able to get to before. And there's so many other things we can do like this, like automating those what is pages, still publishing them, but making them much lower lift and easier to maintain. Like helping our clients think about content systems and what are the chunks of things that need to be updated and how can we automate that? And when we publish a new post, how does that get into an outbound sales rep's hands with the correct messaging and all of those things? So I said today that, it was a joyful, stressful year in GEO and SEO and content systems, and it absolutely has been. And it's been a great year for us because we care very deeply about these topics and our clients and have some great people working with us. And I think that as this year wraps up, next year is going to be the year for us of content systems, of helping clients, and you should do this too, think about your content as a system. How can we accelerate our velocity? How can we build a system that can we move from, hey, we've got a calendar and we're writing this and we're writing that. How can we move from that to here's our strategy, here's our limited number of topics that we can cover with the team that we have, and how can we write the things that need to be written with humans? How can we then take those things and repurpose what can be repurposed and automate what can be automated? And how can we treat our library as a system for educating buyers and interesting buyers rather than lots of individual pieces that are disconnected? So that's what I would say to you is, I wrap up today is think about that. That's what I'll be thinking about next year. And it presents a really unprecedented opportunity for anybody who cares about content, understands what the role is in bringing about conversions and educating buyers to think about their content as a high performance system versus thinking about it as, oh, this is just content, and to work much more joyfully and collaboratively with other people at the company and to think about where does the buyer journey happen, not just on-site, but off-site. How do we all work together to make that happen? So thanks for watching, and hope you have a great weekend, rest of your day, whatever. Let me know any questions or comments. And actually, I think that's it. See ya.